We have all been very excited about the DJI Mini 3 Pro release, especially here in the UK and across EASA, where the drone has some great allowances, meaning you can fly it in many more places that you cannot with a drone over 250 grams. There are, however, a couple of interesting issues that have come up, which I thought were important enough to share and talk about briefly today. Firstly, it appears that Amazon customers are reporting to Geeksvana in some numbers that their pre-order for a DJI Mini 3 Pro scheduled for delivery on the 18th have been pushed without warning or notification to a couple of days later, to the 20th. Now, this isn't too much of an issue, but many are concerned about what will happen if this date moves again, and of course without prior notice, etc. Let me know in the comments below if your order has been changed and if that concerns you enough to consider changing your order to another retailer. It would be good to know how many people are actually experiencing this issue. Many of us, of course, have been looking forward to flying the new drone, with one big change for the Mini 3 over the Mini 2. That is, of course, the Plus battery, which will allow you to enjoy extended flight times. DJI tell us will be around 47 minutes. However, we have now had it confirmed this evening that DJI are not going to be selling this battery in the UK or EASA regions due to upcoming changes to regulations. Now, unlike here in the UK, where the CAA interpret the rules slightly differently and deem that maximum takeoff mass is based on the aircraft itself at the time it takes off, especially for legacy, the EASA rules state you need to refer to the manufacturer's guide. So if the drone you are selling, in this case the DJI Mini 3 Pro, has a heavier battery available or prop guards that take it over 250 grams, you will lose the benefits you have in EASA countries. All of this especially happens once the new C-label system comes into place. Tonight, we've spoken to DJI and they have confirmed the following statement. Our DJI Mini 3 Pro has been designed in line with the current draft C0 class identification standards, drones below the weight of 250 grams, which are due to be finalised in the future. Regulators in Europe and other jurisdictions around the world, e.g. the US or Australia, have agreed that drones weighing less than 250 grams are not going to cause the same kind of damage as a heavier drone when involved in a crash or collision. Since they consider sub 250 gram drones to pose the lowest risks, they have made them subject to fewer restrictions and requirements than their heavier counterparts. The larger battery, Intelligent Flight Battery Plus, would add approximately 40 grams to the maximum takeoff mass of the DJI Mini 3 Pro and place it into the draft C1 class of identification standard, which would pose more restrictions on the use of the drone. DJI would like to avoid this scenario for the Mini series of our portfolio in order to appeal to a wider consumer base. So we are unfortunately being held back from buying the bigger batteries, despite the fact that both the UK and EASA legacy and transition periods are, or indeed already have in the case of EASA, being extended. This will be frustrating to some, especially A2 CofC holders who will still have been able to fly their Mini 3 with the heavier battery in the A1 airspace, so without separation of people, congested areas, etc., just without intentional flight over people, as you can do with sub 500 gram drones. We did explain the unique situation, but of course DJI plan their releases and policies months and years in advance, and they did tell us they had no plans to review the policy. Let me know what your thoughts are. Were you looking forward to gaining some of the Plus batteries? And remember to let me know in the comments below as well if you've been affected by the Amazon order issue as far as your pre-order suddenly moving date. Sean out.